First presentation of the day, as I said, coming from Jonathan Kelly and Vincent Painchaud, who I see there already has presenters. And they will be speaking exactly about government data management in Quebec. Jonathan and Vincent, a pleasure to hear from you. Let us know, ready to take on and steer this this introduction to what's happening in Quebec. Maybe also introduce yourself a little bit from your own voice to the community. Very, very, very briefly, 1-2 sentences, and right into it.
Bonjour,
well,
merci
you.
beaucoup. Go ahead, Jonathan. Okay, thank you. Bonjour tout le monde. Thank you very much for being here. I will just share my presentation. Does everyone see it well? It's fine. It's okay. So my name is Vincent Painchaud. I'm the head of international relations for the Ministry of Cybersecurity and Digital in Quebec. And I'm with Jonathan Kelly, Chief Digital Transformation Officer of the Government of Quebec, and also Associate Deputy Minister. So I took a look again, and I think we are officially the first North American government to participate to NIIS. And also, I'm really pleased to see that we have our colleague from the Americas in general, from Argentina. What is interesting with Canada in Argentina is that we are both a federation. So I think it will be interesting to see how X-Road and Secure Data Exchange can evolve in this constitutional framework. Yes.
Yes.
So maybe just in 1 minute, because it's the first time that Quebec has the opportunity to discuss around this. We are a population of 9 million people. We are the largest Canadian province. So we can say that sometimes it's 2 or 3 times the size of France. So pretty a huge territory. It doesn't have a lot of impact when we talk about secure data exchange, but in other parts of the ministry, it has a huge impact because we are also in charge of telecommunication and emergency telecommunication. And we have a good life expectancy for North America, so 82 years old, and an unemployment rate of 5.7%. If we have Canadian in the room, we all know that something that is really special, if you contrast with the European Union, is that in Canada or nor in Quebec, we don't have a national ID card, and it has a lot of impact about secure data exchange. It's part of our constitution that is based from 1867, so it's pretty old, really, really old constitution. And we have, I would say, some exclusive jurisdiction and shared jurisdiction. So for secure data exchange, it has a lot of impact. So for example, in Quebec, we are in charge of education, health, hospital management, municipalities, and natural resources. But for shared jurisdiction, we have, for example, agriculture and environment, because of course, environment doesn't respect the border of the countries or provinces and jurisdiction. And for the federal government, they are responsible to issue a lot of information for newcomer or people that want to immigrate to Canada. So of course, for secure data exchange, it has a lot of impact, and this is why it can be so relevant for Canada in general, not just Quebec. So maybe just a last slide of introduction about Quebec. So the Ministry of Cybersecurity and Digital, we are in charge of the governance of information resources. So to make it short, when a department wants to do a project, they need to have our approbation. We are in charge of the transversal digital transformation project, such as the authentication tool for citizens, the secure data exchange, the wallet, etc., etc. We're in charge of cybersecurity, telecommunication, emergency telecommunication, but also the cloud, aka also the government sovereign cloud of Quebec, payroll, and also office suite, and we distribute all the laptops for civil servant across the government. And of course, this is really, I would say, we all know that this is some geopolitical momentum right now. So of course we are aware of that. So I just wanted to show two news that we saw, of course, in the European Union, but we saw those in Quebec too. So the first one is about the AI Act of the American government and all the concern about digital sovereignty. And the second one is the rise of AI. And of course, for secure data exchange and digital trust, it's a concern because, of course, like all around the world, some citizens unfortunately have a lot of personal information in the dark web. So with, I would say, unfortunately, with the synergy of the dark web and the AI, we need to really increase our cybersecurity to protect the digital identity of the citizen to prevent fraud of them. So maybe to go more in deep about secure data exchange, Jonathan Kelly, I will just let me know when I can share the slides.
Yeah, so thank you, Vincent. So it's a pleasure to talk to all of you today. It's an interesting experience for us, for Quebec, joining the X-Road community, joining NIIS as well, because we are in the position of learners right now, where we are new users, and it was important for us to delve a bit into the context of where Quebec is right now and where Quebec comes from, especially in the digital transformation area, because we're going to show principles where we're starting from today. And the goal is when we come back in the future, we would like to talk about more implementation. But it was important for us to tell you about where we're starting on our journey. So for us, for digital transformation, we really simplify this, and it's stuff that most of you, and I guess all of you already know. 3 pillars, and the basis for us is cybersecurity. It's trust, of course. So that's why in the name of our ministry, it's cybersecurity and digital. Without cybersecurity, you don't have digital. And of course, the second pillar is data. So, and it's something that we need to do a lot of education about, because probably you see that in your own governments, your own organizations. Everyone wants to go all in on AI, but you need to have good data to get good AI. And sometimes it slows down AI initiatives to get good outcomes, to manage your data properly. So we enacted that into law, government digital data management, a couple of years ago, and we're still in the implementation of that strategy. And on top of that, then you get digital transformation. So you need all these pillars to get good quality digital transformation, to get otherwise it won't be solid, and basically you can have failures in projects and in different initiatives. So that's basically our philosophy moving forward. So we've enshrined into law data governance because, well, even though we're in Canada, there's still a bit of French in us, in our culture. So we like to legiferate a lot. So there's still a bit of European in us, and we've established into laws different roles, different responsibilities around management of government data. So we've created the role of government digital data manager, and we've got in each department, each ministry, we have deputy government digital data managers. And it's a small revolution in itself, because before, data was managed in different ways, I'll say, and to create clear lines of responsibilities, it sounds basic maybe, but for us, we're an older government, very established, starting from a very decentralized approach in terms of IT management and technology management, and moving to a more federated model. So for us, it was extremely strategic, and starting also to separate the role of data management from IT management as well, because in our larger ministries, it's 2 different people. So again, a small revolution there to have a more business-oriented mindset around data management. So next slide. So where we're starting from, and we're not proud to come. We're talking to some people in Estonia right now and other European countries and other countries in the world that are very advanced in their digital transformation. but we're in a very siloed state right now in our government. And that's why we're very happy to work with X-Road, because since our government is based on the British model, the Westminster model, so like you have silos of ministerial responsibilities, and getting horizontal ways of doing things is very difficult in our political system. So you have each minister have very separate responsibility and very separate systems right now, separate databases right now. So if I'm a good customer of the government of Quebec right now, my personal data can be in hundreds of databases right now, which means that for the citizen journey, for life event type things, you need to call or go online on different government departments, websites and portals, service counters, and so on. And it's very time consuming, it's very expensive right now. And for cybersecurity people, the attack surface is very large right now because the data is all over the place in different states. So this is where we're starting from. And of course, we're very humbled when we go to places. I was in Tallinn 2 weeks ago at the Tallinn Digital Summit, and it's always a humbling experience to see how advanced some other countries are in terms of digital transformation. So of course, we want to get there. Next slide. Where we want to have a seamless citizen journey for first life event type things like death, moving, marriage, and so on, things some of you have already in your own governments. But for us, and the underlying factor in moving towards data management is if you want to have a seamless experience, for instance, not have to retell the same story to each department, then you need to have a very solid, a very effective data exchange layer under everything, because the government changes, departments change, and we need to have that agnostic model in place to be able to get these better outcomes. So behind all that is the creation of the government digital catalog. Connected, we're talking on the bottom on Données Québec, which is our open data portal that's already in place. That's both at the provincial and municipal level. But there's still a lot of work to do to have more data sources available. But we need to create that, and that's what we're working on right now. And of course, we need to have technology to do that. And even before we started having geopolitical issues, if you will, in Canada and in North America, we were already on the path of open source and open systems for our data layer. So we're using open source for our open data portal. And we had started looking at X-Road and other technologies for data exchange, but we were a bit prescient or visionary, because right now, like, we know what's happening in the world, where there's a lot of drive right now to go towards open systems, open source, and to try to reduce our dependency on American software right now. So we're at the same place right now in Quebec, especially for critical systems and critical data exchange as well. Next slide. So we're very happy to be now a member of NIIS. That's my boss in the pictures on the right. So we had a lot of meeting with Estonia as well. So that's part of the solution set for us to move to open solutions. And we're also very proud, Quebec in Canada, but part of the Canadian Confederacy, that there's also a lot of interest in the rest of Canada around X-Road. And we're acting as leaders in our country to spread the good word, if you will. And I see a colleague from Ontario what are you saying, my friend? Yeah, so we're very happy thanks for the comment, Mike, but we're trying to spearhead the initiative in Canada and work with other provinces. And now we're happy that we're having discussions with colleagues, both at the federal level and at the provincial and territorial level, to also implement X-Road and create this community inside of Canada as well. Because if you look at like 3 basic layers for data exchange, you can have it intra-public organization, ministry, inter-public organization inside the province, inside the government, and intergovernment as well, and at the fourth layer, international. So we have data exchange needs inside of Canada between governments. So we do that every day, all day. And we see a lot of value in getting all the good stuff that X-Road brings to the table around that. So in terms of priorities, what we're working on right now, and it's just example. So the secure data exchange is on the right, and under that is a lot of stuff, and we won't go into detail today, but we need to establish reference data sources, official data sources. We need to clean up our data sources to ensure that my personal information is not spread out across 100 of databases, to get these authoritative data sources in place. And for that, you need robust exchange technology. So hence X-Road. We're also working on standardizing our cloud development stack because, again, a lot of silos. So it's very expensive to do IT projects in Quebec. Those that follow Quebec news, we have some problems with some large projects right now. So trying to standardize our development stack between ministries, between departments on standard technologies that are more open source. Also our own cloud infrastructure. So the digital sovereignty is the hot topic right now. So we work a lot with commercial companies, American companies. We will continue to do so, but for some critical systems, we're rolling out our own Quebec government cloud as well. And I know that some of you are doing that as well in your countries. And two of our large initiatives, like somewhere else in the other places in the world, government authentication. So we're still spread out across many systems. Unfortunately, in Quebec, we're working on that and rolling out digital credentials, a digital wallet. And for that as well, you need to have a very robust data exchange layer. Next slide. So authentication, and again, for some of you, it's going to be a weird thing because you've solved that issue a long time ago. But we are rolling out a modern cloud-based open source government authentication system. So 11 public organizations right now. So Vincent mentioned around 9 million citizens. So we've got about 3.6 million accounts. And we're still working. It's going to be a lot of work in the coming years to just in government, not even talking about municipalities, not talking about private sector, but just standardizing in government of Quebec is going to take us a couple of years to finish the rollout. But this opens the path to horizontal services. When you're recognized as the same person across government departments, then it's easy or easier to do life event type processes, and then you can really leverage a data exchange layer. Next slide.
I'll chime in just to say for a second that we're approaching the slot time, so 3 more minutes, and then I will go on to the next one.
All right, okay. So Vincent, so I'll accelerate. Thank you. So again, authentication, and you're doing that in Europe with EIDAS, for instance, having high degrees of trust around different levels. And next slide. So our digital wallet, again, so we're enacting into law digital identity in Quebec. It's happening this week, actually. So it's the first in Canada where there are other provinces that are rolling out digital credentials, but we're one of the first provinces to actually have legal recognition of digital credentials. And next slide. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the last one. So
it's the last one. So
maybe
so go ahead, Vincent.
Yeah, maybe something that is interesting, maybe for Mike and maybe other colleagues in Canada, is one of the case study that we want to address with X-Road is this layer, because right now we don't have a digital national ID. So if I want to buy alcohol, I use my health card. So this is not a best practice. So we want to address that. And to build the national ID, you need sometimes to have your birth certificate, for example, but a lot of people are not necessarily born in Quebec, so they can be born in other jurisdictions. So we want to use X-Road to exchange this kind of information to recognize the identification of the person. And if you immigrate from Canada, we don't have the citizenship certificate. So this is another example of using X-Road. So if we want to build this kind of framework trust, we need to exchange those credentials with a secure data exchange. So this is one of the first case study that we will need to address with the rest of Canada. So this was my...
Yeah, thanks, Vincent. Maybe the last 10 seconds is the open source aspect is critical, because what we're seeing in Canada, there's an issue of trust towards government for identity, for credentials. And what's funny is that the same citizens that don't trust government trust Facebook, for instance, and tell their whole lives there. So the fact that we're using open source for these critical services democratically is very important, because then a third party can audit the code and say, there's no telemetry saying, because you're hearing all kind of stories where government's going to track you, and if you owe money to taxes, then you won't be able to pay or buy alcohol at the, because so we have that issue right now, and we believe that one of the cornerstones is using open source software to ensure full transparency, that we're not tracking citizens. So that's an added bonus of using X-Road. So thank you very much.
Jonathan, Vincent, thank you for this presentation. Super nice to hear about also like exactly the use cases already that you're thinking of, and you have introduced a series of topics through keywords that also, at least as far as I'm concerned, here in Brussels, I'm hearing definitely a lot, talking about interoperability, talking about data exchange, but also then talking about the stack, no, of the digital services. So like in which parts and in which layers of the full stack that takes you from maybe like imagining a service to actually delivering it, where do you also maybe have, you know, in-house resources or maybe dependencies also from other actors, be them private companies, for example, or just the geopolitical situation that you mentioned before. So thanks a lot for that.